What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. One of the most anticipated returning bravery weapons has been the Mountaintop, but unfortunately, it hasn't been made available yet. It's still being locked behind a time gate like many other returning weapons. The Mountaintop is expected to see a change to its micro-missile trait, along with several new 3rd and 4th column perks. The Mountaintop will share the same origin trait that all bravery weapons do, coming with Indomitability, which grants grenade energy when on light-based subclasses, and melee energy when on darkness-based subclasses, providing some great utility synergy with your subclass. Even though it might be a few more weeks before players get to put their hands on this newer edition of Mountaintop, those who already have the original version will notice that a few changes have already been made, and these have retroactively augmented the original Mountaintop. While it still has Rangefinder in its 3rd column, the original Mountaintop has now been given Rampage. Previously, the micro-missile trait was located in the 4th column, but this has now been relocated into an Intrinsic trait. This weapon fires a high-speed projectile that deals reduced self-damage. You'll have a 20-point increase in mobility when Mountaintop is equipped, and your forward movement speed will also be increased by just over 6%. With reduced self-damage, the micro-missile trait gives players a really interesting new method of moving around, either in or out of combat. When you shoot the ground, you'll propel yourself up into the air, something straight out of Apex Legends. And this works with sticky grenades or with spike grenades, but it's much more effective with sticky grenades since you can plant several of them at one time to stack their detonation, launching you even further up into the air. Combining this with an Eager's Edge sword or strained grapple gives us some really cool new movement mechanics that we're able to start playing around with, and those could benefit you when free roaming destinations, completing serious PvE content, achieving out-of-bounds glitches, or even in the Crucible. I feel like Warlocks get a little bit of an advantage with the Mountaintop, as Heat Rises has the best synergy with this new movement ability, since you can have Heat Rises active to get yourself way up in the air, and then just hang out, or switch to Eager's Edge and launch yourself forward, or pull out your skimmer and grind through the clouds. And I can only imagine the damage you could wreak if you pulled out the Polaris Lance from this distance. These micro-missiles don't just launch you vertically either. You can still get a good bit of momentum when hitting the sides of walls. So there's a lot of advantages that this new micro-missile intrinsic trait is going to provide for players. And I think the coolest thing about it is that we can already start playing around with it. It's a really interesting and fun new mechanic, and when it's combined with those new 3rd and 4th column weapon perks, I guarantee that this is going to be an amazing weapon to add into your arsenal going into the final shape. And there you have it, Guardians, a bit of a preview of what's to come with the new Mountaintop and its reworked micro-missile intrinsic trait, which will be released sometime in the next couple of weeks. But if you want to play around with this new mechanic, you'll have to use the old version of the Mountaintop, at least for another week. Let me know your thoughts about the changes to this micro-missile trait and the time gating of the Mountaintop. Let me know down in the comments below. And thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.